day. Sabasi, so familiar, so many times we've seen it.
Barzal stops, feeds it, score! It's Horvat in overtime.
All right. So welcome everyone to the Isle Ship podcast. This is the pre-Olympic break special. We are just about to play our last game before the boys take a well-deserved break. It's going to be against New Jersey on Thursday. Just came off a nice overtime win against the Penguins tonight. Averted disaster. How we feeling, boys?
All right.
Yeah, Brandon. Tell us how bad you feel about that win.
I sure am, Eric. I sure am.
Why?
Oh, well, Brandon,
Are you
the
gonna
floor is
tell him?
yours.
I mean, I don't know. Like, who is Gamora? Why is Gamora? Like, what the fuck do you want from me?
Fair.
Yeah, very fair. Very, very fair. How about
Are
you,
you
Mike?
at the point where you want them to lose so that you can be justified, or you want them to win to
No.
make the playoffs?
I just want them to do the right things. If they lose or win, whatever. I just want them to do the right things when they're playing. I'll get into it later.
Okay.
Come on, Mike.
And
Come on, Mike. Feed us.
How we
about you,
feeling,
Mike? How do you feel after that win?
Like I said before the game, I still think they were going to make the playoffs no matter what happened tonight.
If Ilya Sorokin plays at a Vezina level, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think they would.
It's hard for them to miss. Yeah, and even though he wasn't necessarily good tonight, they still got outplayed for most of the game. And I thought he made the saves he needed to. He made a couple soft ones went in there, but like I said, it's probably one of Barzal's best games I've watched. And even though like I said, they were outplayed. When he comes up big like that,
Especially in
they
the
have a
third
couple
period.
guys that are going to win them games.
Okay, I think we need to make a little caveat here in whether the Islanders are or are not outplayed. As a whole, I do agree that they were outplayed in this game. But when you look star to star, when you do the comparables, Bo Horvat, Matthew Barzal, Matthew Schaefer had a better game than Crosby, Malkin, and Carlson. And to that extent, I don't think they were outplayed.
It's always fun to beat up on senior citizens.
The
almost there.
stick check to
So,
Crosby. Oh my god!
I actually have a take. And that is, honestly, I didn't really. Everybody's been over the moon about how important these games are. I don't think they're that important.
Really?
These ones leading into the break. I didn't think they were that important. What's more important for me is what they're going to look like after the break. If they look like they look tonight and like they look the last two games in the first couple games following the break, that's a problem. That means those trades really are as bad as everybody says they are. What I'm saying is after they've had an opportunity to get some practices together.
I think Palat looked decent in 2 of the 3 games.
I do too, but I'm saying you're not going to get the full effect of these trades. I thought Soucy has looked a little bit lost at times, but not like because he's bad. It looks like he just doesn't understand where he's supposed to be in certain instances. So
he looks like a 6th defenseman, which is what I think everybody kind of expected him to look like. The benefit of that trade is I never have to see Adam Boqvist again.
So really, for me, it's about how do they come out of that break for 2 reasons. One, they'll have had a decent opportunity to practice together and kind of incorporate, like get involved in the system. And 2, they have less players playing than literally anybody else. So
they get a chance to rest.
They should be well rested and hopefully not rusty. And hopefully everybody else will be tired. Now, if they come out looking like they have these last 3 games, even though they won tonight, that will be disappointing. And my hope it will be that Darsh does the right thing, but we'll see.
Okay, Mike?
About what?
Okay. So feelings after this game, but I guess just thoughts in general on what Eric said.
No, I mean, like I said, I have them making the playoffs and everything, but I understand what Eric is saying too. But like, I don't know, man. For me, it's been the last 2 months. It hasn't, like I said, I've been tracking it. Like when the calendar turned to December, it's like this team is just completely different. Half the lineup is anemic. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And I mean, like usual, and we think we said this every episode. It's Schaefer, Barzell, Horvat, Sorokin,
Well,
and then maybe you get like a random goal from someone
going to
else.
be carried by its higher end talent. I don't think anybody like. If you were expecting guys like Drouin and Duclair and Holmstrom and Heineman to carry the torch, I feel like there's a problem there.
I mean, I didn't expect them to carry the torch. I just think outside of Holmstrom, the rest of the lineup has been almost like replacement level, where like we could be paying minor leaguers in those spots.
Most stretches.
Fourth line has been winning their minutes sometimes, but like they never produce. So I don't know if it matters.
They haven't been able to produce, but they've had so much ozone time in the last couple
of
games.
But they haven't, though. That's
that argument.
That's a big
Drouin
misconception.
has been winning his minutes as well.
Say it again.
If you want to make that argument, Drouin has been winning his minutes as well. He might not be scoring, he's doing really well.
I'm talking since the calendar turned to December. It's been something I've been tracking. The only players that have even come close on offense to winning their minutes is Barzell and Lee. That's it. And that's because they played together for so long. Everybody else has been losing their minutes consistently. Even Drouin. Mm-hmm. He might be near the top, but doesn't mean he's winning his minutes. So it's just something I've been tracking, and it goes hand in hand with the team getting outplayed consistently. You're basically running one line, and that's what they're doing now officially, because I think they realize this is the only way they're going to be winning games. They scored 5 goals tonight. When's the last time you saw that? 9-0?
Well, the game they played against the Rangers.
Yeah, I was going to say the Rangers game, not five games ago.
Don't really remember that game.
You're not going to count that because
they won 5-2.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Who did they play in net that game? I'm curious.
Martin.
Spencer Martin.
Okay, yeah.
Spencer, yeah.
Just was curious who gave up 5 goals to the Islanders. Spencer Martin and whoever that Penguins goalie is. Some guy that we know pretty well, I think. Well, actually, we don't. But if you're in the West,
it's not.
You do.
They traded him to Edmonton.
But Edmonton Stuart Skinner is basically Jari West, so they basically did
No. The reason
what do you mean no? You're right, Jari might be better.
Doing better.
It's the Spider-Man meme.
The reason the Penguins are doing better, or part of the reason, is because Skinner has been better than Jari, much better.
I thought I saw the save percentage in it. It wasn't. Actually, it might have been Jari who was struggling more with Edmonton than Skinner was. That's probably what I saw. But I don't think it's a giant improvement. I think the Penguins are just a better team all around.
Well, I think the Penguins have been playing better, but as soon as they made that trade, they started winning a lot more.
That's true. They won a decent amount to start the season. They started really hot.
And then they lost 9 straight, didn't they?
Yeah, and then it dipped, and then they made a move and it was relevant.
Worked out. Yeah.
I actually have something. So Duclair plays 3 minutes tonight, and Wah says afterwards it was an important game. Duke will be fine. And Gross reports he didn't like Duclair's defensive tracking.
Yeah, on the first goal.
On the first goal, there were 3 other fucking goals.
Well, my thing is, do you remember when the Barzell line got benched and everyone made us think about that?
Yeah.
Duclair, I'm pretty sure Duclair was on that line with them.
He was.
And he was nowhere to be seen. And it's like, I was wondering if Wah was punishing all of them, or he wanted to punish Duclair and just didn't want to make it obvious. I saw Barzell hustling back. I didn't think that was a bad back check.
I think that's a very reasonable question to answer.
Something from all of them, and then when he didn't find it again from Duclair, he's like, "All right, I'm benching him."
I mean, just to do that against this team in this game,
well, could you imagine benching Barzell in this game? They lose. They lose this game.
Oh no, absolutely,
100%. So I hate this coach. Like I'm happy. Like as a fan, it's great they're winning, but I'd rather see Waugh get fired than getting blown out in the first round too. It's been bothering me for the last couple of months.
I don't think they're actually going to get blown out in the first round.
I mean, I hope not, but if they play like this, I don't see another game like that from a goaltender.
Brandon, how do you feel about Waugh? I know I'd mentioned.
Oh, there you go.
I know you're a
boy.
big Waugh fan, so
Here we go.
How do you feel about Duclair?
Goes into your question about do the games matter? Yes, every games matter because this coach might lose them some.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
How would you feel if we traded for Rob Thomas and then Patrick Waugh benched him for 3 periods?
That would never.
Hold on. You see, Mike, you see this? This is light. You've seen it now. You've finally seen it. You've finally seen it.
Well, I've
been telling you. I just think
the roster's better than being the worst possession team in the league. Call me crazy, but that's just my opinion.
What have I been telling you for the past year, Mike, about this guy?
I think there are improvements that can be made. My point is not that. My concern comes from Brandon. You are sitting in your bedroom thinking that you could be a better coach than an actual NHL head coach. Like without
he's not a real coach. He was only hired because of the name. He was only hired because of the name.
No, he's a real coach. I don't agree with Brandon on that. He's definitely a real coach. My issue is I don't think
an NHL coach. He's not a real NHL
coach. Things that he can change, of course. I think there are things that every coach can change.
Okay. Here's one conspiracy theory I'll give you right now. Okay. I don't think Ray Bennett's allowed to implement the power play that he wants.
Really? Why? What makes you think that?
You want to know why?
Mm-hmm.
Look at Colorado's power play without him. How fucking pissed are Avs fans at Dave Haxtell and how horribly ran that power play is. They are bottom tier on that power play, the Avalanche. And are you going to tell me that the Islanders have anything close to as collectively talented as Colorado? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's nothing that supports Dave Haxtell being on that bench any longer for Colorado. How was the Avalanche power play before Haxtell took over?
Wow. They really are bad.
They're horrible.
In the league. Jesus.
They're horrible.
Okay, but do you think eventually it gets to a point where like you have so many players that are so talented that it's on them to just be like, this is stupid. We know how to play hockey. Let's figure it out.
But it all depends on the formation. Formation.
But they're actually on the ice. They can't just like do things on the fly.
This is why I never dig too hard into coaches, even though I've had some weird, I've had some bad feelings about Lambert and Waugh. The players are responsible for half of it.
In my opinion, you can't uncoach McDavid and Draisaitl. They're going to be amazing no matter what. You put them out there, you let them do what they want.
So why is the Avalanche power play bottom tier right now?
My opinion is that it might be like too many cooks in the kitchen. There might be too many guys trying to play the lead here, doing too much, and they're a little discombobulated because of that.
It's the Colorado Avalanche. You got freaking Nathan McKinnon, Nate Nelson. I know Landeskog's hurt right now. You got McCarr still.
I would need to watch it to really know. To be fair, I haven't really watched it.
But if they're not all like listening to each other and on the same page here, that could be an issue.
I haven't watched them in a couple weeks.
Ask any Avalanche fan how they feel about Dave Haxtell. They're sick of him. They're absolutely sick of Haxtell. I don't think Ray Bennett is allowed to coach the power play like he wants.
Did you guys notice what won the Islanders this game? What changes he made to a certain line that essentially won them this game?
Was it Lee on the top line?
Nope. It was not. I don't know if that was Waugh being smart or luck of the draw, but I'm going to guess it was Waugh's decision-making and something that I've been screaming for a while, to be honest.
Played Drew in less than 12 minutes tonight?
No. What was one of the biggest... Yes, but deeper than that. What was one of the most important goals they scored tonight?
Oh, loading them up in overtime.
No, before that.
All right, stop it. I'm done guessing.
One of the most points of any forward in the last 2 months. With Bo and Barzell. Had a huge pass. Come on, guys.
Simon Holmstrom?
Yes, 100%. I don't
Yeah.
know why he hasn't been given those
No, it's
looks
smart.
when he's producing as much as he has. They have Palat there who, listen, he got a point tonight, but he does nothing. He stinks. He's slow. I don't I
No,
don't
he's slow, but I think he gets in the right spot and
He's-
he's producing points.
I think he's a
See,
fourth liner playing on the first. He reminds me of Leo Komarov, like very, very close, just not as effective.
Uncle Leo
well-
was very effective in his role, though.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
have-
I don't think Palat is.
We did go to
I
the
didn't
Eastern
mind
Conference
him.
Finals
Insane.
with him.
I never minded the Islanders trading for Palat because one, you're getting an earlier third round pick than you originally
Should have
did
gotten more than that.
in the first place.
We didn't discuss the trades, by the way. We really should.
But here's the thing with Palat.
Is there a lot to
Let's-
discuss?
I think so. I think
Here's
we
the-
got
here-
killed in both.
Here's no, I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think we got killed in the Palat trade. I really
Let's
don't.
hear what Brandon.
don't
Brandon, what
understand-
do you think about the trades?
I don't like the Susie trade because you didn't need to send Isaiah George down to Bridgeport. That was fucking stupid. Like he and Mayfield were starting to build very good chemistry against the Flyers, and then boom, back down to Narnia he goes. Like that was completely unnecessary. Give the guy a longer leash now. You gave him a somewhat decent leash last year.
Right.
Give him one this
A-
year.
evaluation year, and they have a guy that's not going to be here next season, likely. Stupid.
Yeah,
Stupid.
utterly stupid. The
I-
Palat
I don't
the
think that's
Palat trade-
true. I think they could extend Susie.
We're going to have 18 lefty. Didn't we talk about this like 4 podcasts
Yeah,
ago?
there's
I mean,
no-
I'm kind
I-
of hoping they don't. Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Unless they're moving Romanov for Pedersen, there's something in the works I don't know about. But you have your lefty stuck. Like
I understand. I think he's a fine depth guy, and he probably doesn't want
Yeah,
to
but
leave.
that's
the-
the thing.
Just let me finish. I don't think he wants to leave the tri-state area, but go ahead.
No, you're right. He doesn't.
So he'll probably sign with the Devils, whatever.
Maybe.
But and whatever. That'll be whoever takes over for Fitzy next year as a GM.
What about Palat?
Well, here's the thing. I don't mind. Mike is a little bit down on the Palat trade. I
Little
don't
bit.
really mind that trade. I have a problem with how Waugh is using him. That's
all
my
that
issue.
too. That's
Yeah,
makes it
that-
10
that-
times worse. But
That's my issue with Palat. Palat is a bottom six forward at this point. And there's nothing wrong with that. Thing is, you got an earlier
Not
third
line
round
forward.
pick from the Devils. Again, whether or not our scouts actually did their job and picked the right player from that pick, whatever. I can't trust them as far as I can throw them. But then you get a 6th rounder for next year, and you move away Siplikov. I don't really mind that move in essence because I didn't see Siplikov as a long-term part of his team, anyways, whether or not Waugh was the coach or not. But here's the thing: people are complaining about the $6 million he's getting paid next year. Here's the thing: it's very buyout friendly. You absolutely can buy out his contract,
Yeah.
and his cap hit is very, very small.
And we're going to have the room more than likely. So
Yeah, but I'm saying like if we are big time crunched or whatever,
I actually have a counterpoint on Susie because since he's been around, Matt Schaefer has been on fire. And I think part of that is because he hasn't had to kill penalties. And they were never going to trust either Warren or George to kill penalties the way that Waugh will trust Susie to kill penalties. And now that Schaefer's mostly off that, he's been red hot. Like
I think you're right, but I think they should.
well, that's what it
Counterpoint.
is.
counterpoint,
That's what it
why
is.
not?
100%.
no,
Counterpoint,
no. I don't want him in front of slap shots at 18.
No, I don't either, to be
Get
honest.
the fuck
really.
out of here. Like
Yeah,
Well,
No,
what
but
a stupid
I want somebody like Warren or George killing penalties.
Yeah,
I don't
why-
want them yet either. I'd rather have them playing
Okay.
the roles that we want them to play long term in Bridgeport and have them come
You don't
up
think they
for
would be
the
penalty
last-
killers long term?
but
Yeah, no, the reality of the situation is that's George's ceiling, though, Eric. Like, he's never going to be your top pair.
I
highly
don't
doubt
agree
that.
with. I don't, maybe not top pair, but I could see him being a second pair guy.
But
Yeah,
whatever.
but
I
why
guess
would
top,
your second
top
pair guy
guys
not
can
kill
too.
penalties?
Again, just generally, I think most teams favor longer development for defensemen. Obviously, Matt Schaefer being a stark
No,
exception to that.
I understand that. Yeah,
But I think it's clear from Darsh too that he wants he wants to see them develop in the AHL, and I'm fine with that. Especially because Susie is like, he's fine. He is what he is. What a ding dong. He is what he is, and it's worked out so far. Like Schaefer has been doing what he was doing before when he didn't have to kill as many penalties. So, and Palat,
I like that.
I feel like the forwards, it's probably harder to adapt to whatever they're trying to do on offense, whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
What do you think about the trades, Mike? Talk to me. Now's your time.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I don't think they got enough for Palat. And right when everyone talks about buyout, I'm like, okay, why didn't you get more for a guy that likely is a buyout candidate?
Yeah, that's my knock too. That it felt like he absolutely should have brought back a better pick.
And people are like, oh, Siplikov. I'm like, couldn't you have just waived him, like, and just sent him down and then still made the deal work? Like, what would have been the difference? I need to know. Unless the Devils wanted him. Let's say the Devils wanted him. Wouldn't the value go up then of the trade?
So. I don't think they wanted him.
Then why not just waive him? What would have been he goes to Bridgeport, you save probably half his contract, right? Or at least $1.5 million.
I imagine there's some inside baseball that like
there's gotta be
some kind of handshake agreement that if you come over and sign with us, we're not going to make you play in the AHL. We'll get you as much playing time as we can.
It's probably a situation where they're trying to deal with the agents as well and doing right by a certain agent by being like, we're not putting your player in Bridgeport and burying him.
But Palat he's $6 million. He was virtually unplayable for the Devils, like Sipikov. Sure, he had a little bit more points, but he was with Hughes and Bratt for I think more than half of those points. Yeah. My thing is, you put that player into like Puckpedia, and you look at some of the returns you would get for taking on that sort of salary, and how do we not even get a second out of that? It blows my mind. And then Soucy, in my opinion, was maybe the 5th or 6th best Rangers defenseman. I understand Andy Green cost a second, and I thought that was crazy at the time, but I don't even think Soucy's that good. So I'm shocked he cost a 3rd and not like a 5th or a 6th. And like Eric said, the only positive I see of bringing him in is that he will PK for Schaefer. That is it. But my thing is, why not just try it with George? The PK was bad anyway. I think it's a big
deal because guess what? Schaefer's back on pace to maybe put up 20 goals as a rookie, which the Islanders want that. The Islanders want that publicity.
You would have to show me in his games how when he PKs he produces less. Because as far as I remember, he was PKing fairly early on. Unless I'm wrong, I thought he was always on PK too. I could, like I said, I might be completely wrong here, but
it does seem like Schaefer plays better when his ice time is more regulated.
That is something to look up. I would love to look up either analytically or even production wise. See another cat. How that happened. So I understand the Soucy trade. You'll never make me understand the Palat trade. I think that's just a Darce connection that they got way too little for. But, when you hear they're after someone like Michael Bunting, and then, I thought it was a first they were offering, which would have made me give up on the GM. But that's the sort of player where it's like, oh, I'm trying to help the team win. Like, I get it. Like, he's way better than Palat. I don't.
No, I mean, if they're after like a Bobby McMahon or something, I'll listen.
But the Palat thing to me looks like something a team that is selling does, not a team that's trying to win.
I think it's a GM
or a team that's closer, way closer.
I think that we're looking past a certain part of this trade, though. I think this is a GM who is taking somebody that they're comfortable with, that they know is a good in the room playoff winner, blah, blah, blah. And they want to put him there so that the young guys can kind of learn from that and like build the culture in the room. I know that is expensive for what you want Palat for. But again, the contract is variable.
Here's the other thing that actually irked me a little bit. Okay. I think it was a quote from Steph that said, he called the Devils and was like, what do you want for Palat? And, that deal doesn't screams, "Hey, I paid what I thought he was worth," which it's not ideal.
It's
But
not great. Yeah.
again, I'm still reserving judgment on these trades until after the break when they've had time to kind of integrate a little bit more.
I just think if they got a second round pick for it, I think I would have understood it more. I feel like there's a lot more value in a second than a third. Like I don't know.
I agree with that. I agree with that for sure. But I'm reserving judgment because I think this is a GM going, this is a guy that I trust. This is a guy that I like. We're going to try to bring him in if it's like on the cheap.
Eric, you can probably move into this as well because and you can talk about maybe who like what names some people on the podcast are thinking about. But in my opinion, after doing these moves and knowing Richie is going to come back, I'm still trading JG Pageau. I don't see the fit for him at all. And honestly, if it wasn't for the recent goals lately, I don't think he'd have much value. He's kind of got his value back lately.
I'm there too.
I don't think they're trading JG Pageau because I really don't think he's selling right now.
I just think that's borderline insane because the moves he did do not look like a team that's trying to win. It looks like a team that's trying to just like slide into the playoffs and make whatever money they make. You know what I mean? For doing so. It doesn't look like a guy who's like, I believe in this group. I think they can win. You add Palat and Soucy.
Well, I don't think.
What does he think we're the Tampa Bay Lightning or something?
No, but I don't think he does.
Even
like chips on the table. Believe this team can compete for a Stanley Cup right now. Nobody would be if he came out and said
you gotta
this is a
out.
Stanley Cup winning roster, and he actually meant it. I would think he was insane.
Well, to me, then you got to be savvy. You got to say, okay, I have these expiring players that are worth a lot. Let's take them and either draft or buy someone who's going to help this core that I clearly believe enough in to give up for Palat and Soucy.
But that's not a lot of belief right there.
Well, he's also stated that he would prefer, like for the most part, he'd prefer to trade picks for established players, which makes sense because you can't look at Schaefer and go, every pick is going to be like this because that
it's also a process.
But then I ask you, Eric, look at the roster. Where is there room for a trade? So I'm saying it makes sense to move.
It
JG
makes
Pageau,
more sense to me
first,
if you're moving Pageau
for Rob Thomas.
to move him for a player than a pick.
That's it right there. That if you move Pageau
right there, oh, he's wearing the jersey,
26 or 27, and then you can move. Honestly, so
if they can get Rob Thomas, I'd be up for moving 3 firsts. I would do it.
I think it was Steph's article today. Well, that's the ask. The question is, will they get that? Anyway,
I think it's eventually going to turn into a first, later round pick and a good prospect.
No, it was 3 picks and a player. It was 3 picks and a player. Is what the ask was.
I know that they're not getting that.
Yes, they are. 100% they are.
Well,
100%.
It depends on the team. Obviously, Detroit's a pretty good fit for that.
When is the last time anyone got specifically what they were asking for?
In what respect?
In the respect of when was the last time a GM came out and said this is a player's value and they got that?
Who's the guy Dallas traded again?
The Brock Nelson trade.
That's rare.
Brock Nelson trade. Lou did not come out and say,
didn't the Hurricanes give up a lot?
His value is a first and a high level prospect.
Why is his name slipping? He just scored a sick goal tonight. The Hurricanes gave up a lot for what's his name?
You talk about Ehlers?
No, the guy they traded Stankoven for.
Wyatt Johnson?
No. Wyatt Johnson still plays for Dallas.
Sorry.
Why is his name slipping?
When the Hurricane, are you talking about when the Hurricanes traded for Rantanen?
Yes, thank you. The Rantanen trade, I thought they got a pretty good haul back for.
The first name I said.
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
The Rantanen trade, they did get a good haul back for, but that was again, he did not go out to the media and say this is what we're looking for in a Rantanen trade.
Yeah, probably not. No.
Well, Robert Thomas is not Mikko Rantanen. I'm just being objective. He's not.
course.
But that's
if-
why I think, Brandon, if they offered
I think
Richie
he's
and
gonna
2
get a
firsts, that might get it
first,
done.
A late pick and a really good prospect.
Richie.
No, you would.
Like if you're the Islanders, a Robert Thomas trade to me looks like a first round pick, Cole Yzerman, and a third.
Richie,
That's
no,
not enough.
absolutely. St. Louis laughs and hangs up the phone on you.
I think you have to include Richie because I read that
You
they're
have
looking
to.
for a stud young center
You have
or young
to.
player.
You have to.
So
They would value
Richie,
honestly-
more than Yzerman?
yeah, Yzerman's
Richie-
stock has dropped, plummeted.
Yzerman-
I know Yzerman's stock has dropped, but he's also projected to be a
I-
first line
Well,
center.
He first
Richie
line
is
winger.
not.
No, Wanger.
Sorry,
But-
first line
But
winger.
I
Richie's
wouldn't
not.
That's
I
not
wouldn't
his
trade
projection.
Yzerman because his stock is so low right now. It's the same thing as if a player's stock is completely nil.
Yeah, I didn't like that one that the guy put
I
out
would
the
trade
other day.
Yzerman if it got you Robert Thomas.
His stock is down because he had an injury, like a lengthy injury, and came back and didn't like pick up the pace
No.
immediately. He's still scoring at a decent clip.
He's
like-
also playing on a really bad team right now, so like
Yeah.
I'm not too surprised they have one really good player outside of him.
If it costs Cole Yzerman, Colin Richie, and a first round pick, you absolutely fucking make
No,
it.
yeah, I still do it, but my point
Absolutely
is if
okay.
they can avoid moving Yzerman and just do like
You have to
Richie
give
and
to get, Mike. You have to give to get. It's Robert
But that's
Thomas.
why
But
I'm
I
saying
think you can
wouldn't-
give to get in other ways.
I
Let's say
don't
they
think
wanted
you
Richie
need
and
to
3
trade
firsts,
Richie. I think
Brandon.
you can go for
I'd do it.
Yzerman.
But why? Why would the Blues want that?
Another first instead of Yzerman?
Where's the first round pick going to fall?
You trade doesn't matter. You trade Pajot for a first. Now you have 3 firsts.
No, but I'm saying though, you have to look in the context of where that first rounder is going to end up when you make that pick. If you're the Blues,
yeah.
I
Meaning,
don't
Rob
think there's
Thomas.
You're
no
the
because
Blues,
no
you're
team is
assuming the
trading.
Islanders might not be good, and so you got a high first round pick.
Okay, no team is trading for Rob Thomas with a really good first round pick, Brandon. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. I highly doubt it. And even like, let's say Detroit does. What high first round pick do they have?
I don't think Detroit would trade for Thomas.
Well, they have the young players to do it. That's my
Yeah,
thing.
but I don't think Detroit
Okay.
really needs center help. I think Detroit needs more defensive help in their bottom pairs.
He's gonna go. The point is, he's gonna go for less than what they're saying. They're gonna have to compromise.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but less than what they're saying is still Richie and 3 firsts because the last thing I read is they want the
I don't-
equivalent
no,
of 3.
no, it's
Did you read what the
If
ask
you're-
was? Did you read what the
Yeah,
ask was?
three firsts.
No, 3 firsts that are what?
What?
The
They're
equivalent
protected?
of
Okay, go ahead.
3 top 15 picks.
That's not attainable.
Feasible for any team.
That's not
so,
feasible. That's not realistic.
so I think if you drag that down, you get 3 firsts like you want
No, I don't
and a
even
Richie.
think they get 3 firsts in Richie. I think they get, if you're trading Richie, I think it turns into Richie a first and a later pick.
That would be great. I just don't think that's the reality.
Can
think
I,
Rob Thomas is an elite first line center. He's in that top 10 to 15 range.
Can
You're going to
I-
have to pay.
Can I put my head in the Lions' mouth a little bit? Just
He's
because
incredible.
because I think this is going to mix it up. I don't think he's a solution to our problems.
Really? I would
What's-
argue if any
Here,
one
let's do a trivia. Let's do some trivia. What's the highest number of goals he scored in a season?
probably like 25 or
Oh,
26.
God, here comes
26.
the goals argument.
We need an actual goal scorer.
We
It's just that simple. We've needed
Eric,
one forever. We don't.
He
have
creates
one.
some of the most chances out of any player in the league consistently.
You can give as many chances as you want to the
The
people
problem
that are
with the Islanders,
currently
they're
on
not
the
creating
team.
enough. He's a
And
creator.
The
You
current
need more
streak
creators.
is the
Eric.
example
Okay, so here's
of why
John,
that doesn't
John,
work.
John, let him go.
Well, how did Duclair look without Barzell, Eric? What was he doing?
The whole team is not able to score.
It'll
this is-
help.
This is since time immemorial. We haven't had a
Eric.
goal scorer since fucking Mike Bossy.
I understand that, but
obviously that's hyperbole. But you understand what I mean, right?
But there are other teams with similar issues, and when you can add an elite talent, it just makes more goals just come out of the woodwork.
You know what I don't care to see? Rob Thomas and Matthew Barzal passing the puck
They
back
probably
and forth to
wouldn't
each
play
other
together.
and not
You could have
shooting.
They wouldn't-
Cole
they
Horvat,
wouldn't
Matt
play together.
Barzell on one line and Rob on his own line.
Yeah.
yeah, but
So-
who would Rob's winger be?
Exactly. That's the problem. There are no scoring wingers on this team.
Okay, Eric, here's the question.
Hopefully the goal would be to get Yzerman and
you-
Eklund up, but yeah.
If you are judging need and cost,
You're never going to win.
No. I'm not saying whether it be worth it or not. I'm saying if you're judging need and cost, who would you rather see them trade for? Thomas or Buchnevich?
That's a tough one.
No, ask Eric what better player he thinks is available. I'm curious.
I don't
in unrestricted free agency or right now.
He would be cheaper.
Okay, I've got the question. I'm going to answer the question.
Yeah.
That's a fine question. The problem is, my point is, it doesn't actually solve the problem. The problem is goal scoring. We don't have anybody who puts the puck in the net. Thankfully, Bo Horvat has been, that guy this year, but they haven't had an actual goal scorer in forever, which is part of the reason. I pray every night that Cole Yzerman is who I hope he is going to be. But obviously that's a couple seasons away. Anyway, that's just my take, that Thomas isn't necessarily what this team needs.
If you're looking at pure goal scorers, somebody like Bobby McMahon on the Leafs does make sense because he's cheap and he has 25 goals already.
Did you see that Steph mentioned him in the?
Yes, I did. That's why I'm bringing him up.
Yeah, I don't love it, but it's probably going to be cheaper than most of the other options. But I don't want a half measure. That was my takeaway from that article this morning, was that everything I see here is a half measure. Who do you think is
not a half measure? That's a goal scorer that's attainable.
You have to wait. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, you have to be ready to go all in.
Thing is, Eric, I think you're missing a boat on what we need. So, yes.
So it's the guy wearing the Rob Thomas jersey.
I'm a little biased.
What a surprise!
Better than fucking Cairo. So that's a different discussion for another day. But so here's the thing: how many top 6 playmakers do the Islanders have, Eric?
One.
Forwards? We're talking about forwards?
How many top 6 playmaking forwards do we have?
Okay.
One.
I'm going to say 2 because I didn't include Horvat.
No, Horvat's not a playmaker.
Okay.
He's not passing this year.
He's not a creator.
He's not because he's being called on to score, which he's decent
which is what he excels at 100%. You need somebody like a Robert Thomas on your team.
We already have one.
But again, what's wrong with having another one? You make
my
two.
Question. No.
Wait, John. Not done yet.
Okay.
I'll give you a share. Love your beard. I gotta. Yes, there we go. Love the beard. Love Mike's beard a little bit more. But
just go.
Sorry, Eric. You don't have Mike's scruff. I'm baby face. Full wrestling, pun intended. But anyway,
Eric. Brandon.
No. So with Robert Thomas, you need more possession. The Islanders are one of the worst possession teams in the entire fucking league. Mike, tell me I'm wrong.
No, I've been saying this, and I think the coaching doesn't help. But still,
the coaching's fucking abysmal too. But they are one of the worst possession teams in the league. How are you going to score goals consistently if you don't have the damn puck to begin with?
I think it hurts your goal scoring big time.
Yes. You have more possession. You have more high danger opportunities. You have more high danger opportunities. You have a higher probability to score more goals. That is a positive domino effect, and that's what adding Robert Thomas will do. You don't have to have a bona fide top 6 stud like a Kucherov. Right? Yes, it'd be nice to have a Kucherov with a Thomas or a Barzal with your lineup, but when you have an established playmaker line up with another established playmaker, now the matchups get a lot easier, and now the wingers are freer to score more goals. Tell me with a straight face, if you have Thomas and Barzal as your 1C, 2C, however you want to do it, that dude wouldn't get 25 plus goals. Horvat would get 35.
And think about it, Barzal can fill in and see if you need him too. Now you got three 1Cs.
That's a great problem to have. And this is the thing. And this is the thing, like why you can't trade Pajot in this scenario. Because if you want Thomas, Pajot cannot go the other way because that's not who the Blues would want.
No,
And
what he was suggesting is you
I said
trade
Richard.
Pajot to get another first to
Yep.
put in the package for Thomas, which I actually think is smart.
Yeah, but then your
One
center
other-
depth is very, very thin. That's the
One-
problem.
It's
They
not
have
that
Danny
bad.
Nelson coming up. I'm not
Oh,
worried
Well,
about
your
it.
center depth is definitely not thin if you have Horvat, Barzal, and Thomas.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
One thing.
but why separate them?
No, yeah, I don't think they should separate them, but your bottom six matters a lot less than your top six. I'm sorry. I don't care who the freaking 3C is. They can figure it out. They cost
need-
$2 to $3 million.
You need,
You know
you,
who
need
it could
an,
be?
you need an established third line center, though, Mike.
You know who it could be?
You really don't if you have three centers like that.
How about Jonathan Drouin?
Yeah,
Oh.
Druin's great.
So the main problem that I have is if you're going to bring in Thomas, which I'm not saying you shouldn't, but if you're going to bring in Thomas on the assumption that he's going to boost up the wingers around him, what winger is going to score more goals because Thomas is there?
I think all of them.
All of them.
You think they're just going to magically figure
Claire,
out how to
Holmes,
score
I
goals?
don't know about that.
I
I
don't
think the
either.
problem is the
I
Islanders
don't
have one
think
scoring
I don't
line.
think Anders Lee is going to is going to hit a new ceiling. I don't think Duclair is going to hit a new ceiling. I think
Why
Holmstrom
not?
will. If
Why
you put
not?
Holmstrom with him, I think he'll score more goals.
Why not? Why wouldn't Holmstrom or Duclair score more?
No, Holmstrom will. I don't think Lee or Duclair will because they're both kind of like at a point in their career that I'm not expecting them to hit a new ceiling, regardless of who they play with. They kind of are who they are.
Not saying they'll hit
They're having trouble keeping up with Barzal right now.
So what
because
do you
that
think of
line is
this?
front loaded because the matchups are unfavorable for that line, John. That's the point.
What do you think of this?
And you don't think they're going to be unfavorable if you add Robert Thomas instead of Barzal?
Because
Well-
they'll get easier matchups. That's why.
100%.
It makes the matchups a lot easier.
And you also have Eklund. Let's say they made that trade and they lost Richie. Now your goal for the offseason is to get a decent 3C. Not exactly the hardest thing in the world to do. A lot easier than a lot of other things. And let's say you take a look at Yzerman, you take a look at Eklund. Maybe they're randomly ready.
Well,
Some
their
of these
goal
young
would be to get a
guys.
scoring winger again.
Wait, what?
Their goal would be to get a scoring winger again.
They have two young, very promising wingers, in my opinion, in the system that they have to take a serious look at.
What about this?
If they work out.
Do you
Yeah, and if
think-
they don't, then you know what? You figure it out for the roster this year and you keep moving.
So
I feel like it would be a much smarter bet to try to just get a scoring winger now instead
So,
of trying to load
that's
up
what I
on
want to
center
talk
depth.
about. So what do you think about this? Dorofeev is the only name that I liked in that article that he mentioned. That the Golden Knights aren't going to be able to sign him with their cap constraints. Do you think they'd be interested in taking JG Pajot back with retained salary in exchange, along with like maybe a first and a prospect for Dorofeev?
I mean, it's interesting. It's just hard to not see that guy's a huge product of who he's playing with. He's a power play merchant, right? Let me guess.
Yeah, Dorofeev, yeah, he's mostly a power play merchant.
I mean,
He
he's
runs-
about
We
to
kind
have.
of need a power play merchant.
That's
he-
literally
he's-
what the fucking
Ooh.
team needs.
We don't have
what-
Eichel or Stone. Listen, I
He
love
reminds- he
Barzal.
reminds me
We
of
have
what-
Schaefer, Horvat, and Barzal.
They are not.
Exactly.
Those forwards are not Eichel.
He
or
reminds
Stone.
me of what Olafson was supposed to be in Buffalo.
But my point
Victor
is,
Olofsson.
this is a kid who's about to have 230 goal seasons under his belt. That is who I would rather trade for him. One, because he's going to be cheaper, partly because he's not going to be under contract. But Darsh is going to have money to work with, especially if they move Pajot. That's what I would rather do.
I guess it really depends on, like you said, cost. But
This is my thing.
I think it's the riskier trade. I think Robert Thomas is the safe trade because you're getting a freaking stud guy who's, in my opinion, better than Bo Horvat.
And that
My
buys
opinion.
time. And when you get Thomas and you have Barzell and Horvat and Thomas already on the contract, that buys you time to develop more prospects from winning because you have your established center course. You don't have to really worry about a top six center for the next 5+ years.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the point with him, and it's just it's kind of like when we traded for Horvat. It feels very similar to that, where people are like, "What are the Islanders doing? It's not enough." But now that they already have Horvat, I think they need one more player. I mean, it's at
No,
least.
I agree. I do think they need one more player. I just don't think that player needs to be a center.
I just don't think Dorofiev is as sexy as Rob Thomas in like a non-weird way.
Only one of those two players has a 30-goal season. Only one of those two players is going to have more than one 30-goal season at the end of this year.
I mean, the Blues? No offense to you, Brandon. The Blues offensively kind of blow.
Yeah, they
So do
kind of
we.
blow right now.
They're pretty comparable.
I mean, also Thomas is injured right now. He's not coming back until after the Olympic break, anyways.
Well, that's
Neighbors just came back last night. Kyrou came back in the middle of last week as well. They've had some injuries. Holloway, who's been battling injuries. Same with Broberg. Logan Mailloux for Zach Bolduc trade has been an absolute failure by the Blues.
Yeah, wow.
An absolute failure.
I'm so glad we didn't get that guy in the Dobson trade. Jesus.
Well, no, but here's the thing. I wish we didn't trade Dobson in hindsight, but like I'm glad that we didn't get Reinbacher because this dude's a freaking made of glass.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been hurt 3 times already. I mean,
trying to get you some fun Rob Thomas stats, before the end of the stream. So just give me a second. I'm waiting for it all to load.
Take your time.
Yep. I honestly, in all seriousness, I don't think the Blues are moving it right now.
So I don't think so either. But if they are,
I think they're going to wait till the offseason.
I have something that's tangential to my point about Thomas, which is my question to Steph the other day was that the last 4 years, our power play has been. It's 27th this year. It was 31st last year. It was 19th in 24 and 30th in 2023. From 23 to 20 to now, we're 31st in the power play. I don't think another passer is what the team needs. I understand you think that a playmaker can free these guys up to make plays. They're not making plays. We need somebody who actually puts the puck into the net.
My thing is, Eric, that ever since Jim Hiller left, the power play has been poorly coached. I put that more towards coaching.
Okay, great. Do you think that's going to change when we get a better player?
That's the thing. If we get a better player, I don't think the coaching staff will use him properly.
So why does it matter?
So,
like, we need somebody else.
I'm talking philosophically regarding Eric's point regarding the power play.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is if that's the case, then we need somebody that's just going to score regardless of how he's deployed.
But how you're deployed matters, though, John. That's
not always.
Okay.
Now, I don't mind saying it on the podcast. I know Darsh was really interested in that the guy that Vancouver traded. He's probably going to be a guy that, yeah, they're going to be looking at him this offseason. I'm pretty damn sure. It doesn't mean they'll get him.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
I mean, he's definitely not like a super sexy name, but he plays the right way, and he's got a good scoring. He's 30, so I mean,
you know what playing the right way for me would be? Scoring more than just in your contract here. Like
they always do, though.
So,
unless you're Brock Nelson for some reason. He wasn't.
So the Sharks made that trade, and right now they're out of a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a stupid trade. Why would you pay for a guy's best year? It's give me a break.
Greer might get fired for that actually if they miss the playoffs. Or hey, what the fuck are you doing?
So
he might actually.
Just to piggyback on what I just said, the entire Lou Lamoriello and the first year of Darsh power play is 31st. If you take it back to 2010, we're 30th. Like, I don't want... I'm sorry, 29th. Excuse me. What the hell is going on?
It's also a team that most of their offense is derived from transition play. So the power play is just inherently not something they're going to be good at.
At some point, we should think about being good at it, though, right?
What?
I said at some point we should think about maybe being better at it, right?
But
Somehow?
it's just the roster that you've developed. They're being coached to play better transition hockey because they are not a possession-based hockey team. They don't have good possession metrics. And so they play better going north-south than like keeping the puck and just having it in your offensive zone all the time. It's counterintuitive, but they're a very good offensive team in transition.
You guys want a really good Robert Thomas stat?
Sure.
Over the last 3 seasons, his individual points percentage is 78.47, which is the 13th highest for any forward. He is directly behind names like Konechny, Marner, Hagel. I already said that, right? Hagel, Konechny, Marner. And right behind him is guys like McKinnon, Raymond, McDavid. Pretty fascinating stuff there. That's basically whenever the team scores, he's getting points on stuff. He's a big, basically, driver of offense.
I don't dispute that that's what he is. Or that he's a good player. I only dispute that he is not what the team needs.
Gotcha.
Which is somebody who actually puts the puck in the net.
Mike, do you think players like that on bad hockey teams, it's more attributed to them being really good or the team being really bad and then
honestly
being the source of offense?
Yes, because when you look at the names at the top, John, there are guys like Celebrini and Bedard. So it's like, yeah, I think genuinely that means they have a big impact on the team's offense. Like as good as Duclair was, that was never the case for him. They
have a big impact on the team's offense, but they also don't have anyone else on the team that does.
That's what's so fascinating about a guy like Rob Thomas is I wonder how he would look if he's on a better hockey team. That's my opinion.
Again, I'm going to keep beating this dead horse.
Like I'm low on the Islanders, so I get it, but still,
My issue, Eric, with the power play will forever be until they bring Jim Hiller back, how it's coached. Because it's nonsensical the way it's ran. It makes
that's
every
fine.
time.
That's fine. Dating back to 2010, 2011, we're 29th in the power play. In
2020, 21 season, it jumped up to 18%. Then the following season, it was the 12th best power play in the league. Hiller's final year coaching that power play.
Yeah.
And then what happened? He's gone after Trotz is gone. Then what happens? It gets worse. The power play took small steps year after year after year under Jim Hiller. The first half of the season, he misused Barzell back in 2019-20 season. Then started to use Barzell properly. Mind you, he never had a Bo Horvat to work with. Never had a Bo Horvat to work with.
Yeah.
What's McLean and Bennett/Wass fucking excuse? You have Bo Horvat. You have Matt Barzell. You have Matthew Schaefer. Whether or not you want to put D'Angelo or Pollock on the left half wall or whatever, your power play should not be this bad, this poorly coached and poorly just mismanaged. Like it's mind-boggling. Now, again, I'm on the record saying this, and I literally jump up my pom-poms when it actually happens, when Barzell gets a nice goal against Colorado because he's on the right side, or when the Islanders create havoc based off of a Ryan Pollock slap shot against the freaking Capitals. Like, oh, look at what happens. You have a threatening slap shot. You have a playmaker in his proper position, and they're able to generate dangerous opportunities, and they don't fucking do it under this guy. So getting another ingredient is not going to fix a bad bartender, and Patrick Waugh is a bad bartender.
That's fine. I honestly think though that part of it is personnel.
I'm not saying that they're derived. I'm not saying they have a high amount of talent. I'm not disputing it. Yeah. I'm saying it's not used properly. That's all.
Even if it was, there's nobody on this team where I'm like, great, let's set up that guy's shot. Not even Horvat. Because he's had stints where he just fires the puck into the middle of the fucking goalie's chest, and that has been.
I think every player has those stints, though.
Yeah, 100%. But Horvat is a good second scorer. What we need is a top guy. We haven't had one. I don't know, since the 90s, I guess.
Okay, so let's
I
take a look at this. Who's the big threatening shooter for the Minnesota Wild? And don't say Kaprizov because he doesn't have a wicked shot. He doesn't. Who do you consider a big time shooting threat for the Minnesota Wild?
I mean,
it would be Kaprizov.
Kaprizov has 3 40-goal seasons, so
Yeah,
No,
it
but he's
would
no, no, but he's
100% be Kaprizov.
but he's more of a creator though than a main goal scorer though. Like, yes, he could score, but he doesn't have like that big snipe that a Pastrnak or a Matthews would have.
I mean,
He doesn't need that though. When
I'm
you
just
have
gonna say this
40
again.
goal seasons,
I'm
it
just gonna say this
doesn't matter how you score.
He's got 3 40-goal seasons. He's
Yeah.
gonna have 4 at the end of this season. I don't understand what your point is.
He's a goal scorer.
The Minnesota Wild had the 6th ranked best power play in the entire NHL.
Okay.
Yeah, because of Kaprizov.
One guy makes your power play
He's
go.
a major difference maker. He doesn't make the whole power play, but he's the driving force of it.
But that's
Okay.
what he just, so if he's the driving force, then by that logic, he's making the power play.
Okay, one guy doesn't change about. How do you think the Caps power play would be without Alex Ovechkin?
Actually, the Caps power play is 28th in the NHL right now.
Yeah, without him,
Prior
it would be
years.
terrible.
And without him. But generally,
But Ovi's not what he used to be, too.
it
That's-
No, he's not.
absolutely makes a difference having a trigger man, a dedicated trigger man who it opens the ice. It makes them have to cover like one specific person.
You want my Schaefer hot take right now, Eric?
Maybe.
I don't think
Always.
he's great on the power play right now. I don't. And you know what? That's okay. He's 18 years old. He's gonna figure it out.
I disagree.
But I think and he does what a lot of the other guys do. They defer to Barzal. Whenever they get an ounce of pressure, Barzal, please, Barzal. And then it's like, Barzal holds the puck too much. And it's because they force feed him the puck. And it's like one day,
because he shoots.
one day I want them to force feed the puck to Schaefer. I
agree
want
with
Schaefer
John.
to be the guy that's dancing around, that's opening up shooting lanes. Right now, I think he's still hesitant, and I get
For
it. You know, it's his first season
defenseman
in the
who's
NHL.
playing the point. That's not really his role.
I don't agree with that. If you watch someone like Quinn Hughes, I think he can get to that one day. I really do.
I think he can get to that too. But even if you watch Quinn Hughes, he's not jumping into the slot. He's at the point, kind of moving around, trying to find a shot for himself.
I don't think Schaefer does that enough.
See,
I don't.
Here's the thing. I don't actually agree with what you just said. I love Schaefer on the power play. I
didn't say he was bad.
I think what he's looking for and what we should be looking for is not what's out there. The puck doesn't come to Barzal and he gets stuck with it. The puck sticks to Barzal. What I want to see is passing. If you look at other people's power plays, the good power plays, the puck moves. Not players moving, the puck moves.
No,
because the puck moves faster than the players do. The problem is there's still only like 3 guys we can trust to handle the puck on the power play.
I think there's one right now, and I think that's part of the problem.
But Eric, here's the problem. How is Matthew Barzal going to move and distribute when he's glued to the left half wall when he's a right-handed shot?
You can move once you open the ice with passing.
Yeah, they do that.
They don't.
To distribute though. He
no,
has
they
no
don't.
room to distribute.
They freaking weave.
No.
And it's so easy to guard. It's idiotic. Honestly.
The issue that the Islanders have with the power play, which is something that I've brought up a few times before, and I don't understand why they do this and why every team that seems to have a struggling power play does this. They're static. They don't move.
Time.
You need to, if you're creating passing lanes for yourself, cross-seam passing lanes, your power play becomes incredibly dangerous. It becomes so much more dangerous than it already is. And the only way that you can create these cross-seam passing lanes is by forcing defensemen to move and cover areas of the ice. If you stay in one spot, you can't pass from side to side the way you would if both players are moving and creating angles for themselves. What they do is they stay in one spot and they cycle the puck around, trying to find an open person instead of getting themselves open and moving around the offensive, like,
there we go.
Moving around the zone to try to find those cross seam passes. You need to be doing that if you're going to have success.
The problem is they don't move the puck fast enough because it sticks to one guy in particular. You want to see Schaefer moves the puck. Schaefer tends not to hold the puck. He moves the puck. Okay. While he's doing that, let's talk about how for the last 5 years, the most goals on the Minnesota Wild is Kirill Kaprizov with 190, 60 more than anybody else.
I'm just saying one player should
sure he's the shooter.
Power play go all the way to sixth. Make your power play go all the way up to sixth place. So
I don't know if you guys noticed it tonight, though. Let's just say
this is one of the best shooters in the entire league on the power play. He can, yeah.
This is Barzal and this is Schaefer. This is what they do 50 times on the power play.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, because nobody else can handle the puck.
And I agree with you, and I do think that's part of the problem. But one thing that I think Schaefer is going to get better at and become way more dangerous with is he's going to do this. He's going to do this. He's not doing it.
That's what he should be doing.
Very hesitant, where he'll go one way, go back to Barzal, go one. Now it's just a mess on the whiteboard.
He wasn't early on. A lot of those power plays, those first power plays, if you go back and watch them, I'm
not saying he's a bad power play quarterback. Yeah. I think he's better than Dobson easily.
I think he's honestly. I don't want to get Brandon too excited, but I honestly think he's being coached poorly on the power play.
I think so too. He should be more. He should be way more aggressive. Now, like I said, but I don't know if that's also an 18-year-old trying to work out the NHL. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like there's a lot to learn. He didn't have this many goals last season in the league he was playing.
Trust his instincts.
Well, so that is literally a word that I was going to say. Who on this team do you think has the best hockey instincts?
Probably Horvat in terms of trying to score.
Honestly, I think it's Matthew Schaefer.
But he's not doing that on the power play. That's my issue.
I think he's resisting his instincts on the power play.
He's eventually going to be Schaefer, but it's not right now because he's too young and they're not.
I think it looks like he's resisting his instincts on the power play.
I'm just
because those early season power plays look much different than now.
I pointed it out, and Brandon always talks about it, where they do the shift and Barzal sets Schaefer up for a good shot, and he doesn't take it, and it blows my mind because if I'm the coach or if I'm the team around Matthew Schaefer, I want him shooting that every single time. Yeah. Every time you get open. Matt Barzal, maybe not as much. He doesn't have the shot like Schaefer. That's obvious. But like it blows my mind that he'll get set up and then he'll like hesitate and make another pass. And I think that's just a rookie thing. I don't even think it's the team. And it's fine. I'm not saying it's the biggest deal in the world. But I think the guy is good enough to have like over 20 goals right now if he wanted to, you know? It's just he doesn't take all those chances. They hesitate. They all do on the power play. Barzal does it. Schaefer does it.
Because there's no room for Barzal to move on the power play. That's the problem.
Well, that's part of the problem too, and that's why like a guy like Rob Thomas would be exciting is now you got 3 guys or 4 guys on the power play that can handle the puck. Now you've got the equivalent, I'm not saying of a Kaprizov, but you have so many guys that are talented now that you have to see an upswing in goals.
You have more options, yeah.
Yeah, like I'd be surprised if that's not a better power play. It wouldn't be hard to be better. You're giving the puck to Drouin or Lee, and they're fumbling it every time. You're not going to score any goals.
All right.
That's simple.
It's tough.
So tonight, right? Anders Lee in the slot.
Here's the thing. Fine, if you're that fucking skeptical about who should be on the left half wall, if you get Robert Thomas, that's where Robert Thomas should be. The left half wall.
No matter what happens, you're going to have Barzal and Thomas on the other sides, right? That's going to be really good.
Barzal would be the passer on the right half wall where he should be regardless.
Oh,
Robert Thomas, if you get him, which again,
Yeah.
again, this is off season talk. We're going way further. Thomas should be on the left side. That's where he is at his money spot. That's where the Blues play him. That's where he scores.
Well,
but yeah, back to the team. They're playing the Devils on Thursday. Yay!
Oh.
How many? What's the over under on the goals for that game?
I actually think the Devils are going to play a lot better than they did previously.
Yeah,
because
we might lose
they
that one.
were embarrassed, so I could see us losing that.
Mark down the Siplikov
They
goal.
won. See, they won this game though, so it matters a lot less, in my opinion. Once you won this game,
I agree.
you're going in a playoff spot. So what does it really matter?
This is the big one. No matter what happens, they'll go into the break in a playoff spot.
Which is all that mattered. I mean, if they lost this game, who knows? You know, it could have gotten bad.
Yeah.
So you go in.
This is also really good from an emotional standpoint. I think this was like one of the biggest emotional wins of the season because it's against the Penguins who are ahead of you, and it's like your rival.
Yeah,
more so than the Rangers.
Yeah.
I just get worried when I see Barzal getting benched by the coach because I don't think there's been a player better for them in the last 2 months. I mean, just phenomenal stuff from him.
Why does it worry you?
Well, I hope that was a one-off and they don't do it again because they need to win every game. Like, let's be honest. You're going to lose games. You want to hold that playoff spot, you're going to need to keep winning.
Do you think that like lighting a fire under Barzal maybe is more important than the one game?
Yeah, but not for benching him for the rest of the game. That's what like got me is like I feel like you can learn your lesson in a period or
I
even
think your
half.
instincts on that one are correct in that it was probably more to do with not singling out Duclair immediately.
That's what I think, at least, because I watched the replay over and over again to be like, okay, what is Barzal doing wrong? And he hustles back.
Are you talking about the game against Buffalo?
I think.
I'm
trying to remember which one it was.
But happy fucking anniversary to me. Shit.
Sorry. Yeah, but Barzal was hustling back on that goal. I get it. They were a little lazy, lackadaisical up, but he was hustling back. Like, you're going to bench the guy for hustling back?
Mike, in fairness, though, he was floating a little bit on that sequence, though.
But my thing is the whole team does it. The whole team does it.
I understand that. No, I'm just saying, like, in terms of being, like bench him for one shift and then just put him right back out there. Not for a whole period, though.
Listen, they need every point they can get because you already see what happens when you stop winning. I mean, if we didn't win tonight, we'd be having a very different conversation right now. And honestly, I still think.
I think so.
I think so because I'm still into the thing where if you buy a big player, I get it. If they lost this game, I might have said, you know what, just don't even fucking bother. Like just play it out. But like they keep showing me that if you add another star, they're gonna give what this team needs to be able to win some playoff games.
This reminds me. I wanted to mention how they look currently reminds me a little bit of how they looked at the lull to start the season. Like the goaltending.
What, you think you can pick it up again and just go on a run again?
Yeah, I think it's a high variance sport. You can't be too obsessed with any one detail. And honestly,
not to be.
I'm fine with them not being hot right now.
The thing that makes me hopeful is, like Eric, like what you're saying, it is a very high variance sport. But that also means when you do have things that are like seemingly consistent, it's important.
Yeah.
You have a goaltender that's playing at a Vezina caliber level consistently.
Yeah.
If you can get a little bit better, the bar is a lot lower than you think. If you have a goalie that is consistently elite, that bar is basically it's like an average passable team. You become a playoff team. A playoff team that can steal games if your goalie is that good.
I Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna give an unpopular take. If the Islanders are gonna make one more trade, I don't think it'll be for a star right now. I
And
think
which
you wait until the
hurts.
offseason for something like that to happen. Because I don't think availability will present itself right now. I think if you're moving a star player, you wait till the offseason where there's more bidders coming in.
Yeah.
I'm saying from a seller's perspective, that's
Course.
what you do.
I understand.
If the Islanders are going to trade for anybody, it should probably be for a backup goalie.
I don't
I
think
don't think
Rittich is the problem.
I don't. No. I don't think anybody wants to talk about this, but over the past nearly 2 months, Dave Riddick has not been very good.
I think he's been good up until about a week or two ago.
No. Ever since they collapsed against the Blue Jackets in the third period, he's been pretty bad.
My issue, Brandon, is they have
stolen
not
games.
been playing their best brand of hockey. So you're judging him off of the team playing, in my opinion, bad hockey.
No, I'm saying in terms of what I think he will do.
Okay,
What's going on?
I'm not even worried about that. Honestly,
If you're
he
trying
already
to find a
proved.
backup goalie that's going to steal games for you, you're
Brandon, they probably have
it's a
10
mistake.
points less with a normal backup this season. I
Yeah.
really believe that. Rittich was excellent for them in the first 2 months.
And the last 2 months, he hasn't.
Okay, but that's how
he's
better
what
than
you
most
want your
backup
backup
goalies.
goalie to be outside
Yeah.
of like the last week or so.
I would say that's better than most backup goalies, Brandon.
I think
You're hoping your backup goalie can hold a 900. What does Rittich have right now?
I think he's like barely 900 right now.
That's better than most backup goalies.
Or let's see.
I think.
I think
If your backup goalie is a
I think he dropped a little bit after the Capitals
like
game.
the top echelon of backup goalies.
Pretty
Oh,
much.
no,
I mean,
Mike, he's exactly 900.
okay. So he
That's
fell
good.
recently, but after the hot start he had, to go away from him, I think would be foolish. I don't think that's the right
Well,
move.
the thing is, you
Tell
should
the
also
team
be
to start playing
Sorokin.
better.
You can try to
And,
find your game. I'm all right with that.
yeah, when was the last time they gave Rittich like a free win? Like it hasn't happened, you know? Like give him a good game or something, you know? You're not expecting Rittich to carry the team.
The Rangers.
The Rangers goalies have been terrible because the team's terrible.
No, I'm saying like giving him like a free win, basically.
I guess, but
I got it.
yeah, no, my focus on this team is adding a star, and if they're not going to do it, just hold out on what you've already done because I wasn't a fan of it. So
Okay.
We'll see if availability presents itself, though. If it doesn't, then
Sure.
whatever. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm looking forward to seeing how much the Blues are going to get for Justin Falk. Someone's getting ridiculously
this is
overpaid.
an Islanders podcast, Brandon.
I'm just saying the trade deadline in general. They're going to move him.
That's
And
all
right.
he's thinking about.
someone's going to overpay for him. Someone's going to overpay.
Probably.
Yeah.
I just before we end this, I think everybody, instead of trivia, everyone should say a name of a player that you really want. And I think mine's going to surprise most people because it's not who I said.
Do you want me to say the name at this point? No, I'm not going to say it.
No, Brandon, you go first. Go ahead. Who's the number one player you think the Islanders should add? Oh, what a surprise! All right. All right, who wants to go next?
Oh, he said Rob Thomas.
If you had
I was gonna
one
say, is he
player to
gonna say
pick
Rob
from,
Thomas?
if you have one player to pick from, and consider cost, consider what you think it would cost. So, you know, if you don't want to pay too much, that should go into it.
I honestly don't know. I mean, the names that Steph threw out today, I was not super happy about. I guess Dorofiev, not terrible. I wonder if there's a chance. You know, do you wonder if there's a chance they could take a flyer on Patrick Laine?
I don't think so, and I wouldn't do it.
I like Patrick Laine. I just don't think he's a good hockey player anymore.
He's terrible.
Yeah.
And all it takes is for him not to be good on the power play for you to have another Andre Palat. So no thanks.
That's fair. I honestly don't know that there's anybody currently on the market that I'm over the moon for.
I have one name, but go ahead, John.
So if the Blues are making players available, like very available, and Robert Thomas is the big fish, I think the Islanders would be smart to kick the tires on Pavel Buchnevich and see how much he would cost.
I don't hate it.
They just extended him like over a year and a half ago.
Yeah, but they did. Make
Yeah,
a
but
lot
if
of
they're
players
trading
available,
Thomas,
so-
they're listening on everyone.
But I think he has a no move though.
Oh, you know what? I actually do have somebody.
Okay, who?
Shane Wright.
Yeah, Shane Wright's one of the big names that's been thrown around.
Shane Wright.
That would be a fascinating ad.
I agree.
I have one more name though.
Hit me.
He's on the Blues. He's not having a good season, so I think his cost would be a lot less than
Oh
Rob
my
Thomas.
god.
Jordan
Stop
Kyrou.
it.
I think Jordan
Stop.
Kyrou is literally, this is the one time where you're going to be able to add him, in my opinion, for like a first and a good prospect. And if you can do that with the contract he's on, I'm doing it in a heartbeat. The guy not only is an excellent skater, he creates a ton just like Rob Thomas. If anything, more than Rob Thomas. Because Rob Thomas is more of the playmaker on that line. You guys wanted a goal scorer. Here's a guy who's done it.
He is the
I
goal
think
scorer.
he's been 30 a couple times.
Over the past 2 seasons, Thomas and Kyrou don't really play together 5-on-5. Kyrou actually plays with Shen most of the time.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying that like his metrics, Brandon, are excellent. Defensively, excellent. Offensively, excellent.
Before this season, he had 3 30-goal seasons in a row, and not
if you're gonna buy on a
30s.
player, you buy low. In my opinion, Rob Thomas is buying high. I think he's a great player right now.
But with that,
I don't think Kyrou is.
Well, with that logic, why would the Blues move him right now?
Well, because they're making everyone available. So if you're willing to pay the right price, maybe they'll move on from him. And all I can think about is some of the issues Kyrou's had in the past with the Blues, and I know they've rectified that.
Yeah.
But he might want to change his scenery.
Yeah.
And that's a guy I go after. Great skater too.
And what happens?
Great skater.
What happens? The Islanders hire another credible head coach, and then Jordan Kyrou throws him under the bus as well when it's his time to go. Like, no, I don't want to deal with that crap.
I just don't think there's many players available like him for the cost that's going to be with the sort of potential he has. There's just not many.
Yeah. All right. That was a good way to end the pod.
Yeah.
I don't actually hate any of those names. I just, the goal scorer is always going to be my priority.
Yeah,
Panarin would be fun,
funny.
but
that'd be funny.
But the problem with Panarin is
I don't think it fits, but that'd be funny.
the problem with him is he's getting really old, and he's going to command a lot, right? So like
he doesn't really fit the window.
But what if
I don't think so.
So, Mike, what if he accepts the trade to the Islanders but doesn't sign an extension, just comes as a rental?
There's no way we would trade for him, and there's no way the Rangers would do that anyway.
Yeah, why would either side?
I'm being hypothetical, obviously, and the Islanders and Rangers have always.
Is the hypothetical that the Rangers have no idea who we are, and they have like the Men in Black thing where they stick it to me with the phone?
I definitely don't.
I
definitely
believe
don't
it's
think
called the
Rangers
neuralizer.
I think he's going to Dallas, to be honest.
Have the Rangers in their history ever traded a player even close to that talented to the Islanders? Because
no.
If we were to win with Panarin, I think fans would cancel their season tickets. Like, genuinely, it's a bad idea.
If we were to win with Panarin, I think they would actually bring pitchforks to MSG.
I think they might burn the place down. Like, I would be afraid to be like in near Penn Station.
Going to a Ranger Islander game would be an actual rivalry again.
In all seriousness, I would feel afraid for my safety if I went to a game and we had won with Panarin. That's why it's never going to happen. They don't want that.
Great news.
It would be amazing drama.
I don't think you actually have to speculate on that.
No, I don't think so.
It's not happening for sure.
All right.
Oh, I thought you were like breaking down like news if something happened.
Good podcast, guys.
Right?
Take it easy.
All right.